It is the Losers Lounge presented by Toyota and your Front Range Toyota dealers. Welcome into the Loser Lounge. The post-game show is a bummer indeed, but it is brought to you by Bet365. Big thank you to everybody who stuck with us in the watch party and all of you that got us to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's a plaque, so we got that going for us, which is nice.
Something worth celebrating today.
Yeah, that's something worth celebrating. This game not worth celebrating, though, and the bottom line is there are more positives than negatives here, and here's where it's going to get tricky for all y'all. You're going to have to find a way to... you got to find a way to really understand the situation right now, and I know that's platitudes and whatnot, and I know that's not just me talking as a ultra positive guy all the time, but the positives do outweigh the negatives in this game. But puck luck and bad bounces and just things happen, and there's just unfortunately no way around that sometimes. I mean, that puck takes a ridiculously gravitational pole bounce at the beginning of the game, and it should have been 1-0, and a goal like that changes things on its head. So you're unfortunately in a situation where it just doesn't go your way tonight if you're the Colorado Avalanche. It should go your way tonight based on the way that you played, but at the end of the day, you got a little bit unlucky. And I know that the inclination of the fan, especially the loyal fan base that rises and falls, and that's like, oh, you're in a Stanley Cup window and all. You've got what, 6 of your top 9 on the bench right now? I'm sorry, you're not overcoming that.
Yeah.
And it is about survival at the moment, and then eventually you're going to start to get guys back as early as Tuesday, and when those guys start to roll back into the lineup, you'll start to catch some breaks. Was this a winnable game tonight against a very struggling Nashville Predators team? Yeah, it absolutely was. But you didn't get it, so unfortunately it's improvise, adapt, and overcome. You also missed... You missed Calvin DeHaan in the lineup tonight, right? Like we talked at the beginning of the game that defense was one of your big strong points, and now that's a temporary thing. You'll be fine there, but it's a tough game tonight for the Colorado Avalanche just because they got a little bit unlucky, but they didn't play horribly, and they did get goals from stars that they needed to get goals from, but you got to have a little depth. You got to have a little help.
Yeah, you said the same thing about the positives outweighing the negatives the other day against Tampa. I didn't agree with you then.
Okay.
Tonight, I absolutely agree with you.
All right.
This version of the Avalanche, I really don't know that they can play that much better than they did tonight. And that's the reality of an Avalanche team down 6 forwards. They're not very good. They're just not.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. No team in the NHL can survive 6 forwards out of their lineup and play quality hockey.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of the situation that the Avs are in. I think there are a few specific scenarios where you expect better and could have gotten better out of Colorado tonight, and we'll get to those. But no one ever plays a perfect hockey game. You got 2 goals out of your stars. Unfortunately, the second goal came a little bit too late, and the game was kind of already in a tough spot for them. Unfortunately, Nashville did get all the bounces tonight, and the Avs really didn't get any. And the reality of the hockey team as currently constructed for the Avs, they've faced enough adversity in the injury category. They cannot survive adversity in the bad luck category on top of that.
Listen, Rudo, I don't need to keep promoting my resume, but I have been covering hockey for a very long time, and I've got a pretty solid reputation throughout the NHL. I have never, in the 10 years that I've covered it in the NHL, and the 30 years that I have been a television broadcaster, seen anything quite like this litany of injuries that keeps piling up almost every couple games. And I'm sorry, but it just doesn't happen like this. It doesn't. I haven't seen it hardly forever. It's unfortunate, and it's just lingering. Like, you see it happen a little bit here and there, but the fact that Drouin is still not back in the lineup, the fact that Miles Wood is not back in the lineup, the fact that MacKinnon is so close but not in the lineup, it's hard. It's really, really hard, and it's draining too. And there's just not much you can do about it. Like, you're literally running out of options. I mean,
literally.
shit, I might put my equipment in the back of the car for the game on Tuesday, because there's a solid chance that Bednar calls up to the press box and is like, Gizmo, can you play 10 minutes?
You can dress 18 skaters in a game. We just finished game 12. So far this season, the Avs have dressed 27 different skaters. No team can survive that. Nobody can. That's ridiculous. It's insane.
And I get what you're all saying. It's not the Avs. Like, this is not.
No, I think what they're saying, though, is like, it's something that we talked about while you were out of town. Like, outside of the Cup year, this has been a rotating carousel of injuries and man-down games for this team. Going back to like 2020.
There's a statistic out there. I don't have the tweet. I'm sorry to whoever tweeted. I can't find it. But over the last decade, the Avs are the third most injured team in the NHL.
It's just, it sucks. It happens every year. Like, we know what their top is.
Well, and it's like a compiling thing, right? You've got the injuries on top of the injuries, on top of the injuries, on top of the injuries. You've got the Nichushkin suspension. Yep. You've got the goaltending debacle. I mean, and that's what it is. It's a debacle. You're like, well, I'm positive, and I'm going to be positive tonight because I don't think they played horribly. I don't. I really don't. But at the end of the day, like, I get the fan frustration. I have some friends who are big Avalanche fans and some family, and I understand what you're saying. But, like, don't give up on these guys. Like, honestly, like, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm telling you right now, don't give up on this team, because I have a look behind the curtain and I truthfully understand hockey. I really do. Like, I'm not good at a lot, but I'm really good at understanding hockey and locker rooms and personnel. This is a good group. They're a resilient group. They just need a little bit of love and help. They need help.
I want to have a conversation to you because, let's be honest, there's not a ton to talk about in this game, and we need to fill anyway.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We have a lot of time to fill, and I really would rather not talk too many details about the hockey game.
I think this is an interesting conversation.
Okay.
A lot of away teams in the NHL talk about the altitude advantage in Colorado.
Sure, it's there.
And I think there is some truth to this conversation. Someone said it in the chat the other day.
Settle down, Trevor.
Someone said it in the chat the other day, but this is factually true when it comes to science and medicine.
Yeah.
The lack of oxygen, the higher altitude up here, does make it take longer for players to recover when they do get injured.
100%.
I think Artturi Lehkonen is a perfect example of this. This was a guy who, going into the season, they were hoping he would be ready for the start of the season. Then it was, it'll be a couple games. It'll be 10 games. We're at game 12.
Yeah.
He's still not back.
Yeah.
How much of that is his injury? How much of that is his altitude? Whatever. But my point being, the Avs also get punished by the altitude a little bit in that regard. I'm tired of hearing every other team, it's so hard to play in the altitude. Yeah, well, are you as injured as the Avs? No? Then shut up!
Wow.
I know, Giz, you're not, you're new to the Avalanche sports coverage, so what stock do you put into the altitude? Let me ask it to you that way.
I mean, there's a scientific play to that. I mean, that is not a unknown thing. There's a disadvantage and an advantage to the altitude, but the injury recovery is 100% a thing. But at the end of the day, there's a dig deep, try to figure this out play also.
I agree.
I don't, as much as I do have a look behind the curtain, I do not know how deep some of these injuries are, and I do not understand potentially how bad they are, because hockey players on the surface are upper body, lower body, and they are, without question, in my opinion, the toughest athletes that are out there. I mean, I've watched Gregory Campbell block a shot, break a leg, and stay on the ice for 45 seconds, hobbling around on 1 foot, block 2 more shots on a penalty kill in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Boston Bruins. While LeBron James gets carried off the court by 6 guys because he's got a leg cramp. Toughen up. But I think at this moment, based on where the Avs are at, like, they need somebody to dig down deep. Like, guys are really going to have to grind.
Yeah.
Because you're at a desperation point right now.
And again, this is not any of the players on the ice's fault. This conversation, at very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Wagner's a fringe NHLer. That's who he is. You can't expect him to go in and be a real solution for you when you need a goal. Yoel Kiviranta's playing on your top line. Love the guy as a defensive forward. That is a dude who we've watched offense die on his stick his entire NHL career. You can't expect those guys to magically start producing because everyone else is injured. That's just not who they are. I actually just looked this up before we started the show. Do you know how many 10 goal scorers in a season are on the Colorado Avalanche? 6.
Wow.
The Avs have 6 people that have scored more than 10 goals in a season.
Wow.
Do you know how many 15 goal scorers? 4.
Wow.
And they only have 4 because Casey Middlestat has done it once. The only people you can reliably count on to produce on this hockey team right now are Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and Cale Makar. And guess what? Those guys got you 2 goals tonight. It just is what it is.
It is what it is. And no, you're not writing the season off. Like, stop that talk right now. Like, you can't go down that road. You're going to get the reinforcements. And I get the whole, at the beginning of the season, the line was, okay, we got to play with what we have until we get the helpers back. That was fine when you were missing Lehkonen, Landeskog, and Nichushkin.
Right.
Well, now you're missing Druin and Ross Colton and Miles Wood and like a litany of other injuries. You can't recover from that right now. You are taking an engine and you are redlining it on oil that needed to be changed
6 months ago.
6 months ago.
Look, again, in the later segments of the show, we'll get into the actual problems that I think the Avs can improve, but this is not, there's nothing the Avs can do. There's no, and I know we'll see this in the chat where people are like, well, what about the Avs training? What is the Avs training staff supposed to do about Ross Colton blocking a shot off of his foot? Nothing. What is the Avs training staff supposed to do about Arturi Lehkonen blowing out his shoulder in the playoffs because he was going all in for this hockey team last year? There's nothing that they can do about that. There is no solution. The reason it's so frustrating is there is no solution. You just have to wait till they get healthy.
Right. You have no options here.
Yep, exactly.
And I don't want to hear, I saw it earlier about the depth of the team is weak. You've got a young depth in a salary cap era that isn't ready yet.
Name me one team that can survive playing their 18th forward. Name me one. And if you say a team, you're lying.
There is not.
No one can survive this. And that's where it's at. As Giz said, at the start of the year, the Avs were like, hey, we need to survive these injuries, but we feel pretty happy with where we're at.
And they were surviving those injuries because Ross Colton steps up and goes on an absolute tear to start the season.
And then Ross Colton gets hurt. And then Miles Wood gets hurt. And then Calvin DeHaan's out tonight.
Yep.
And you just... there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yep.
And I really, really think if you play this game out the way it played out 10 times, the Avs probably win it 7. Yeah. They really played pretty darn well in every category except for finishing. And in the finishing category, guess what? They beat UC Saros twice tonight and the puck didn't go in.
Correct.
On top of the 2 goals they scored. Again, the Avs are built when healthy to be a team that can win even tough games. The way the Avs are built right now, if things don't go their way, they just don't win. That's just the reality.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line there, too, is the fact that they... At the end of the day, like, you can get unhealthy and your secondary, your third end scoring, it's going to pick it up and it's going to help you, right? And they were getting that. But the problem is And the frustration is that when they were getting that secondary scoring, you weren't getting goals in.
Yeah, it hasn't lined up for
So it's like
him.
this yin and yang where you're like, man, what am I supposed to do with this? How do I overcome all of the things at once? And I think for me, it's that you just don't normally get that, right? You don't normally have all of the things go wrong. It's like
Staggering one by one. Yeah.
it's like Apollo 13, right? like come on, man. Like you think you're good to go, and then the carbon dioxide filter goes out.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, but it's solve one problem and the next and the next and the next. And if you can do that, you'll be okay. And you got to get the health of your team back. And this is a good lesson for all of you out there, because you need to stay healthy, especially as winter starts to show up.
Look at that.
There's a lot of ways that you can stay healthy. Obviously, it's doing the right things. It's eating well. It's working out. It's putting the phone away at night. And it's the mental fitness. Certainly the mental fitness is a side that I've worked on as of lately, and that after watching these last few Avs games,
Some mental health might be needed.
probably need to refresh my mental health. But with UC Health and the Ready, Set, Go Challenge, Coach Prime is trying to help you and the state of Colorado get back to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the union. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that. And whatever it is for you, do it. And do it for yourself and for your family, whether you have brothers or sisters, or for your mom and dad, or for your kids, or for your friends. You're loved, and we love you, and you should be loving yourself and make sure you're doing the right things for you to make sure that you're in the best possible space. With the Ready, Set, Go Challenge, you can do the same thing. Maybe it's get better sleep. Eric's trying to lose some weight. Get and be a part of it. If you want to join UC Health's Ready, Set, Go Challenge, click the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/Ready, Set, Go.
Can Coach Prime block a shot for the Avs?
I mean, Coach Prime might need to start playing hockey.
It's getting
Tom
down
Brady
to it.
is playing hockey. We may need to get him into the
It's getting down
into the
to
mix.
it.
It's
for
getting
real.
gritty.
What you can do
Yeah.
is you can go watch the Avs get hurt in person with Game Time.
That's not right. That's not okay.
Go check out Game Time for your tickets. Doesn't even have to be an Avs game. Can be any sport. The Nuggets are on right now. You want to go see a Nuggets game? Get in with Game Time. Use their Game Time Picks feature that filters out all the junk. It only gives you the best tickets for the best prices. Whatever event you might or might not be going to, for that matter. It doesn't even have to be sports, concerts, movies, theater. They got you covered fully at Game Time. They guarantee you the best price at Game Time on tickets. If you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, they'll reimburse you 110% of the price. Use code DNVR when you sign up with the Game Time app today, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Join over 15 million people who use Game Time with the link in the description below.
I used Game Time this weekend in Vegas.
There you go.
It was
That
awesome.
easy.
It is incredible. It is everything as advertised, not because they're paying us to do it. I ended up not getting the tickets, but went on and utilized it. I mean, it's super, super easy. Loved it.
I could use some easy things in life right now.
I like easy. I like easy. Everything always seems difficult, but easy is good. Listen, I've been down this road before on like 8 levels in terms of hockey, and I just think that the big overall message is that you just can't let it rattle you as a fan. And the true fans, like, you just got to dig in and believe in this, because it's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a cup window for these guys right now. I believe in C-Mac. I believe in Bednar. I believe in the core of this team, and I think they're gonna be okay. And truthfully, it's hard to see in the moment now, but it's teams and seasons and starts like this that end up defining who and what you are down the road. And it's the things that you will then build and drive upon to get you to what you want, which is obviously in every NHL team's repertoire a Stanley Cup. Look at what happened to the to the Edmonton Oilers last year.
Yep.
It's a wickedly horrible start that turned out to be their driving force and the gas in the tank that got them to where they needed to be. And quite frankly, I thought they were going to withstand the Cup last year. And the only reason, by the way, that they overcame a 3-goal deficit to force a Game 7 is because they drew on the start to the season and told themselves, hey, we've done it once, we can do it again. So survive this little bump in the road where you're just below 500 right now. That's fine, and you'll be okay.
Look, at best, the Avs have been missing 3 forwards when they've been their healthiest this year. And this moment, they're 1 point out of a playoff spot.
There you go.
So, do you as a fan believe the Avs are going to have 6+ injuries for the entire season?
There you go.
If you do, yeah, guess what? The Avs are probably in trouble.
That's not happening. And that's not, based on the injuries that are on the roster, that's not happening. They're going to get guys back, and that injection in the lineup will change things.
If you forget Landeskog and Nichushkin for a second.
You got to erase those from the memory because those are enigmas, and you just don't know.
Even if you just get Arturi Lehkonen and Jonathan Drouin back, even if you just get those two, the Avs are probably a playoff team.
Yes. I'm pulling up the schedule right now while you're talking. I'm paying attention.
And these injuries, I know it's easy to say, oh, well, the depth guys and the AHL guys come in and they're not very good, but it goes way beyond that because the Avs are losing top 6 players. I already talked about Yoel Kiviranta on the top line and how that doesn't make a lot of sense. The Avs don't have anybody else. Who else are you going to put up there? You're going to put Nikolai Kovalenko, who's played 12 NHL games in his entire life? You're going to put Ivan up there, which they did, by the way, who has played barely 2 seasons, not even 2 seasons of pro hockey in North America? You're going to put Logan O'Connor up there, a guy who everyone loves, mayor of Denver, awesome. He's not a top 6 player. And the Avs have to do that right now.
Yeah.
When you get a couple of these guys back, it's not just, oh, you get the AHL players the lineup. It's everyone goes back to their station. Everyone plays the game of hockey the way that they're supposed to be playing it, and the entire lineup gets better.
By the way, and I'm going to say this out loud, and I know y'all keep telling me to ignore the chat sometimes. I won't ignore the chat. I respect the Toyota chat quite a bit, and I'm not going to call anything out in here because if you just want to make like ridiculously absurd ignorant takes, I'm not only going to not respond to it, but I'm going to laugh at you, and you will have all of my respect lost for you. Like, I'm sorry you're not a hockey person with some of the takes in there. Like, don't even bother. And if you're just trying to be bombastic, you're embarrassing. Go away.
Trolls out here, man.
It's embarrassing.
Trolls out here.
And if you think you're funny or you think if that is actually your take on hockey, I feel bad for you, and I'm happy to offer my services to educate you on exactly what's happening in a hockey game. So I can let you know about that. And I'll charge you a fortune to do it. I think the point that you made that's really good is the fact that these injuries are not going to linger throughout the course of a season.
They could, in theory. And guess what? If they do, sorry, the Avs aren't going anywhere this year. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, though. If there is any amount of luck breaking the Avs' way this year, no one's going to be perfectly healthy. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the Avs aren't going to be missing top 9 forwards, 6 of them for the entire season. That's just not. That doesn't happen even to the most injured teams in the league.
And there is some tough sledding coming up in the schedule.
Yeah, it's not. Don't get me wrong. The Avs
There's some tough sledding.
They have to work hard. They're gonna need more.
Seattle on Tuesday is a game that's winnable. In Winnipeg on Thursday is gonna be a road.
Maybe Winnipeg's due for some bad luck. The Avs can shift it off onto them or something.
Carolina comes to town on Saturday.
Carolina, a weird team this year.
Weird team. And I'm just running through it just because it is what it is. Got to talk about it.
Yep.
Ideally, you've got a couple of guys back on Tuesday, win that game, battle on Thursday. Okay, who knows on Saturday? You get Nashville back here on Monday. Okay, you probably should have beat them tonight, so you can maybe get that one. LA coming to town next Wednesday on the 13th.
I mean, Chicago just beat them tonight.
Yeah,
so.
Chicago just beat them. Who knows with them? And then, of course, you've got our takeover on Friday with the Washington Capitals. And
crazy
and
hot
we'll
to
see.
start
And then
this
it's a roadie
year,
for 4 games, including Tampa. So the schedule's going to get tricky. But you got to just try to grind out some wins here. You just need some points.
Yep.
Stay alive. stay alive, stay in the fight. And I hate that I'm saying it again because I said it in pregame, but stay alive till American Thanksgiving, and
you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. I'm not worried about the Avs' big picture. Again, I actually thought they played pretty well in this game. I really don't have a lot of problems with the play on the whole from the Colorado Avalanche in this hockey game.
No, I don't. And I thought Eustace played good. Give him, he wants that first goal back. He's got to catch that puck. And head was down a little bit, fine. I'm nitpicking now, though.
This is the realities of the Avalanche situation.
By the way, I need a shot. Can we do better than 27 likes,
you guys
please?
Can do better.
Like, let's
you guys
go.
Can do better.
Figure it out.
The Avs need that goal back. Eustace needs to make that save.
Yeah.
Because the Avs don't have the offense to outscore their problems.
Well, the thing that hurts there is that they should have had a 1-0 lead.
They did have a 1-0 lead, and that penalty cost them immediately. The puck ends up in the back of your net. You look at that; it goes off of his glove. He's got to make that save. He does.
Meaning they should have got that first goal earlier too, and
right.
it changes your whole
good
trajectory.
Bounces in this game is 2 or 3-0 at the start of the second period for the Avs. They didn't get the bounces. Fine, whatever. They still played well enough. They pretty much win even in the first period with Nashville, in most regards. They get a break. They get a 4-on-3 in the start of the second period, and they score first. They put themselves in the driver's seat in this game. Cale Makar continues to be the best player on the freaking planet as a defenseman when it comes to producing offense, especially on the power play.
Yeah.
And they have an opportunity that unfortunately gets taken away because Eustace doesn't glove that thing down. And who knows what happens on the rest of that penalty kill, whatever, fine. But bad plays happen.
Yeah.
It's hockey. Unfortunately, when a bad play happens to a Colorado Avalanche team that is depleted, it's not survivable.
You're compounding problems here. You're literally compounding problems, and there's no escaping the You at some point you're so far behind. You're looking for the This is almost a unplug it, plug it in again situation.
Restart the whole system, man.
Avery had it right. Avery's saying everything that I'm saying.
And you need to play. The reality is the Avs need players to play above their station to win hockey games.
And you were getting that, and then they got hurt.
You were getting that.
And then they got hurt.
Ross Colton and Casey Middlestad are playing miles above where you expected them to. And
Ross Colton was off to that's a career start for him.
Yeah, right. I genuinely can't play better. Like, you can't get more out of a guy like that.
That one broke my heart.
It was sad.
That one broke my heart because I also really, really love Ross Colton. Like, that dude's cool. That's a guy, like, I'd be like, yeah, I'd hang out with that guy. I'd have beers with that guy.
And that's the one goal that I really have a problem with, is you need anything to make that save. You look at the other two goals with a goalie in the net that the Avs give up in this game. One is a perfect tip. No one on the planet can stop that play.
Perfect tip. Textbook tip.
The other team is allowed to play good hockey, and that's a perfect play, and it ends up in the back of your net. And the third one, okay. I think you can be upset with Kiviranta for taking that penalty. You don't take that penalty in the first place. You don't put yourself in that situation. But that's a puck that pinballs off of 4 things and ends up right on a Nashville stick that gets whacked at by 3 people and perfectly skates out to Stamkos in the far circle. That wasn't a play that Nashville engineered to make a good play. No. That's just a puck that goes where it needs to go. And Stamkos makes a great play to make that extra pass to give that goal up. But again, great teams are capable of overcoming bad luck. The Avs, maybe you could argue, are a great team. I think they probably need a starting goaltender to be a great team when healthy.
Well,
now they're anything but a great team.
But that's going to come too. Like,
I agree. We're just not there yet.
Yeah, we keep talking about that. Like, there's so many things. And listen, I'll tell you something right now. Anybody that knows me, and I know I got some friends watching, and I know I got some family watching, my nephew's watching. I am not patient. I am like a lot of things, and I'm good at a few things. Patience is a virtue that is not anywhere in my stratosphere, and I will tell you right now that is the only way through this situation with the Avalanche.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
There is nothing you can do.
The Avs have done enough so far to stay afloat. Now, you have to turn around. You just talked about that bad stretch of games or rough, hard stretch of games. You really need to start going 500 or better.
You go on a 4-game losing streak.
Yep.
And you go on a 5-game winning streak, and then you tumble 3.
Yep. And it's a roller coaster right now. It really is.
I mean, if going streaking is the way to fix this, I'm happy to gear down and take a jog down Colfax.
I took my shirt off last night.
Listen, I'm a hockey player where the propensity to be naked is there. So, like, if I got to give it a go, if that turns this thing around, like, I'll take a hike down Colfax. If you bail me out of jail later, Rudo. Tiff, you got money for bail?
There are three
Just paid rent today,
specific things.
It is the first.
There are 3 things I want to
Thanks for
talk
the
about
reminder.
specifically for things I want to see improved for the Avalanche, and we will get to that shortly.
I'm betting on the fact that we'll get to that very shortly.
Now?
Yeah,
Are you now?
Because with Bet365, our partner, it is never ordinary. They are an official partner of the Denver Nuggets Colorado Avalanche, and they are giving new customers in Colorado 2 months of altitude plus on them when you sign up. So make sure you do that. I'm a big fan of Bet365. And with their early payout offer, your winner if your team gains a 3-goal lead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app and use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Tons of different cool stuff. Lots of specials when you do. I took advantage of it right from the hop. I thought it was absolutely awesome. And now with the ability to get some altitude plus on Bet365.
Yeah,
and I was
buddy.
like, come on, why would you not do it? Big fans of our friends over at Altitude and really big fans of Bet365. Tons of different specials. I went with their $200 bonus. You throw in $5, you make a bet, you get $200 in bonus bets no matter what happens. I absolutely love it. It was a great time, and I'm still enjoying and reaping the benefits. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cale Makar 2 points did hit tonight, so we did at least hit one.
No, I know.
Yeah, it did.
No.
The other 2, not as great, but that is what it is. We are also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery. You can see the can. I guess you can't see it on this cam, but there you go. We got a whole little
Can
bucket
we
of them.
open like all of those right now?
The official craft beer of DNVR. We gave
not
away
cold.
a sick little neon sign. We had the Avalanche of Pride here at the bar tonight, giving away a Breck Brew sign. It was super sick. P.S. If you haven't checked out their merch, go look at it. It's breckbrew.com. Their merch is dope. Everyone loves their hats. You got to go see them. You got to go get them. You can also get a beer for everyone. My wife actually brought home a 6-pack of their Christmas ale, which is out there now. Everyone here at DNVR, a big fan of their mini keg. Go check them out. If you haven't gotten with Breck Brew, you can find them at a local liquor store near you with the Breck Beer Locator online at breckbrew.com. They've got a beer for everybody.
I mean, I would really love it if you all did better than 38 likes so I could have a shot of whiskey after that game. I mean, think about us here and your parched broadcast friends on the podcast who had to do a pregame show and were so optimistic and then fell into the crux of a watch-along that had us so hopeful for so long, and bad bounces just breaking hearts and causing desperation and no chance to get up and wander down the stairs. Just a mere flight away to a bar full of tasty, delicious spirits. And now here we are talking about a game that is frustrating and heartbreaking all at once while trying to entertain, and yet we only have 40 likes in an attempt for 60 more in order to have one measly small shot of rejuvenation in life. So if you guys could hurry up and just, throw some likes on there and get us to 100, my taste buds and my mentality would appreciate you.
Will you throw some likes if I doom a little bit? Because I know chat loves the doom.
Thank you, A-Wolf.
So let me give you a little bit of doom here. While I think the Avs for their lineup played pretty well, I have 3 major problems with this game for the
Tell me,
Colorado
and then
Avalanche.
we will debate. But I'm probably on line with you.
Number 1, I know we just preach patience. Jared Bednar is a little bit too patient. Love the guy. I'm not entertaining any of the silliness in chat about how he's a bad coach or anything like that. But you willingly put Yoel Kiviranta on the first line for 2 periods of this hockey game. I get it. He just had a hot streak where he scored 4 goals in 3 games. I get it. You want to ride the hot hand. You have to recognize he is not the guy capable of finishing on that top line for you. And maybe you don't have one. Maybe there's no one on this team that is capable of filling that role correctly right now. Okay, fine. Try something different. Because Kiviranta, far too many chances on his stick. It's a shot or it's a failed attempt. It's just offense that dies when you have your best players out on the ice. You need better there. Same is true of Ivan tonight. Again, I get it. You don't have a ton of options. Ivan goes -2 in the top 6 tonight. Did not really play an effective hockey game for the Colorado Avalanche. I'm not putting that on the players. That's on the coaching staff to find something that works a little bit better. Number 2, Mikko Rantanen. Come on, man. You have 2 points in your last 4 games. You are a superstar caliber player. You need to be operating at minimum a point per game pace. You need to be operating at the best version of yourself because, frankly, that's what the Avs need right now. And you had one fantastic play in this game. You were beast mode power forward, bowl through a guy, beat everyone on the ice, and you ring it off the post. That's one great play. Okay, awesome. Where's the rest of this game? Way too easy at getting knocked off the puck tonight. Way too casual with the puck, forcing himself to turn the puck over tonight. You need better because the Avs have no one else. Again, it's you or nobody. You need better out of Mikko Rantanen tonight. Full stop. You got it out of MacKinnon and Makar. Both had 2 points. I didn't love McKinnon's game, but he put an absurd goal into the net late in this game. He gave the Avs a chance. Makar was freaking awesome. No arguments there. Rantanen, you need better. I'm sorry, you do.
Yeah, and listen, it's also not fully fair to. It is fair. What am I talking about? You're the stars of the team.
Yep.
It is fair. You have to step up a little
fair,
bit more.
But that's the reality of being a star.
It's
It is.
reality.
It's just
Heavy
how
as
the
head,
world works.
Right? Like you got to show up.
Yep.
And I'm not saying he's not trying. I'm not saying that one bit. I like Rantanen quite a bit. I like the top guys on this team. I think are phenomenal. But yeah, like you got to find a way to do more.
Yep.
You just do.
Yep.
And that sucks.
It does.
Because
It's not a fun place to be.
It's not. It's not. And you're wearing it, and you're taking the blame, and you're wearing it. Makar is wearing it, but finding a way to get it done. How is Makar creating and being more offensive than your offense?
And Makar is a defenseman, and he's leading the league in points. What more do you want that guy to do?
Nothing more from
he's
Cale
only
Makar.
good on the power play. The defensive. He's leading the league in points as a defenseman. He can't do any more. It's ridiculous. By the way, Nathan MacKinnon, 4th in the league in points. They have 2 players in the top 4 in points, and they're not above 500. It's ridiculous. This season is stupid. What are we doing here? It's not going to continue like this.
We can just go. Do you want to just go downstairs and get a drink?
Kinda.
I'm just
Roster
kidding.
update.
Oh, God.
Who else is dead?
Please don't.
Nobody's dead. Just Prish and Kovalenko got sent down to the Eagles.
Kovalenko got sent down? That's interesting.
Who got Kovalenko and who?
Prishchapov expected, no big surprise. I wonder if the Kovalenko thing is some weird cap stuff.
What, do they just parachute them out of the charter when they come back?
And to be fair, I don't think Kovalenko's been all that good over the last 2 games. But you should not be sending him down over someone like Chris Wagner or, honestly, even someone like Parker Kelly has not been all that effective either. So,
I mean, listen, this is frustrating, and it's frustrating because, as talked about earlier, there is no solution. The solution is
correct.
A timetable that you have no control over.
Yep.
I do think, I'm not going to name any names, but you got to buck up a little bit here.
Yeah, you do. You
got to buck up.
You have to.
You're a hockey player. You got to be a warrior. Buck up.
You gotta. If not for yourself, for the Avs, because they need it, frankly. Whoever it is, whatever it is.
You're not dying. Let's go.
Find a way.
Find a way.
Is what it is. And again, this is not. I really struggle with the argument that players down the lineup aren't good enough because, of course, they're not. TJ Tynan is not an NHL caliber player. Nothing against the guy. He's an AHL All-Star. Love his game in the AHL.
We're not taking anything away from the young guys
Right.
that are being thrust into a position that they're just not ready for.
What are you supposed to do? Like,
29 years ago, I wasn't ready to broadcast a game in the NHL, and that's why it took 22 years to get there. You don't just give a heart surgeon the knife when he decides he wants to be a heart surgeon and be like, go get him, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Give it a go.
And it's
You
not-
Googled it, right? You're fine. You'll be all right. There's like valves and stuff, and just make sure you connect the right thing to the
don't
other
cut the
thing.
wrong stuff. It'll
Yeah,
be
you're
good.
fine. It's like
Yeah.
using a bomb guy. Doesn't get like it's one of the wires. Cut one of the wires.
And
They're not ready.
I see the Toyota chat talking about Shillington. I don't think Shillington's been any good, but also
It's not
you've
his
made the
fault.
guy play forward for the last two games.
It's not his fault.
Right.
You're out of options.
What
You're
is
out
he
of options.
supposed
You're
to
out
do?
of-
The
you're
dude
out of options.
probably hasn't played forward since he was 10 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
he a little bit, but yes, he has not actually like really played forward from the time he was like a peewee. But like, you have to. I think like you've got to put things in perspective at times, and you have to accept what it is. And then you just got to kind of believe and believe. And I know I say that a lot, and I said it against Tampa, but I do believe that is the case here in this situation. You're okay. It's doldrums because of the loss, and it's sad to watch, no doubt, and it's frustrating to watch. Tonight hurt because I honestly thought they were winning this one tonight.
I
And-
didn't, but I wanted to believe.
Yeah. I think you just have to understand that it is what it is for the moment, and it will eventually come around and be okay. But, you just keep getting bad luck after bad luck.
Yeah, again, a healthy Avalanche team can overcome some adversity with bad luck in a hockey game. An injured
At some point,
Avs
the luck's
team,
got to change.
it doesn't have to, unfortunately. That's the life of randomness, but
Well, I think luck changes.
it would be an all-time bad break for a full season to go the way it's gone for the Avs so far.
I might get lynched.
No, you won't.
They're gonna throw me out of this place by my shirt tails. That's even a thing anymore. I don't even know. That was like super old school. But
I only wear T-shirts, but I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell you.
it's been a minute since I've been in a suit. I was in a tux this weekend.
There you
It
go.
fits still.
Hey, that counts for something.
I
right
was
there.
concerned.
Got to find some
I
positives.
was very concerned when I put that puppy on. I'm like, see how we do with this.
The third problem, and I want to be fair here. I know we already talked about it a little bit. At the end of the day, Justus Annunen gives you an 870.
Yeah, but that's not fair.
Maybe not, but that is the reality that if the Avs aren't going to get healthy bodies back, they need a goaltender who can give them over 900, regardless of what they face. They just need it. So go out there and be one save better, Justus. Are the other guys any better? No, but
No.
you can't have an 870 every night and expect to win a whole lot of games.
I mean, I guess realistically, he makes that glove save, and it's a difference. We're talking about something different here.
Yep, exactly. And maybe they score on that power play anyway or whatever, but it's unfortunately the Colorado Avalanche goaltending has to stop every shot they're supposed to. Because if you let even one in, it's just too hard for this team to come back. Again, the Avs scored 2 goals tonight, all of them from their stars. And that's reasonable. You cannot expect the rest of this lineup to produce goals. You just can't. They aren't capable to play as high as they're being asked to play.
Yeah.
It sucks. I wish they were. I wish they had more guys so they could play down the lineup a little bit better where they can be effective hockey players. And they put in a valiant effort tonight. They played good hockey when it comes to everything but finishing.
Oh.
But the reality of the NHL is if you're not an elite talent, it's really freaking hard to score in this league.
Yep. And you the other problem is you come up against a team like Nashville, and the Nashville Predators are struggling.
Yep.
And you look at that lineup on your board before the game today, and if you're Stamkos and you're Marcia Show, you look at each other and you're like, okay, I smell blood on the water. This is where we turn around our season.
Yep.
And they did.
Yeah, and we said it in the pregame, don't be the get-right team for Nashville. Unfortunately, the Avs ended up being the get-right team. And I don't even know how much of that is the Avs' fault. People are going to say, oh, well, the Avs got goalied today. Yeah, okay, on the stat sheet,
Right.
UC Saros had a good save percentage. But go watch that game and tell me that UC Saros played a good game. He absolutely didn't. He got lucky multiple times. When he was making saves, he looked scrambly as hell. Rebounds were all over the place for that guy. And yeah, the Avs weren't able to capitalize on some of those opportunities. That's on them. Full stop. I'm not giving the Avs the out of getting goalied tonight. The Avs didn't finish well enough. Again, I don't need to rehash everything, but look, at a certain point, you have to look at Colorado's finishing and say it needs to be better. That's my third topic that I didn't really get to, but it's just tough right now for Colorado.
AJ, 2 empty net goals did not cost them the game today. But
No, the game was lost before the empty net.
Over before we got to the empty net. Yeah. The empty net was desperation, bud. How about the What Chaos guys? My buddy Pete Blackbird, the All-City Hockey Podcast, and DJ Bean. Mostly hockey with a little bit of nonsense. Interviews with players, coaches, notable personalities in the world of hockey, and appearances from other local all-city NHL hosts, which I have not got an invite to, by the way, Pete. So, the hell, you have my cell phone. Give me a ring whenever, buddy. They're live 4 times a week at 12 Eastern on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, make sure you check out their merch. They just dropped some partnerships with Just Dishin'. So shirts, hoodies, hats, accessories. Visit justdishin.com to check it out. Rudo, I'm starving, buddy.
Buddy, I got
a plane, late night, early morning.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Hungry.
I know it
Nicky
didn't
need
help
food.
the Avs get back into the game necessarily, but do you have a descriptor word for that Nathan MacKinnon goal?
Sexy.
That is correct, sir. That thing was sexy. I don't know how he did it. What I do know, if you're looking for some sexy, go get yourself some sexy pizza. Jump on it with Sexy Pizza. Fantastic pizza company here. Yes, they have fantastic buy the slice pizza you can get on, but they're more than just that. They're part of the community. They do fundraisers. They sponsor a bunch of local sports teams for kids, whatever it might be. Sexy Pizza doing the good stuff out here, and they have fantastic pizza to boot. So why not jump in with Sexy Pizza today? Take a look at their everyday specials because they sell slices all day, every day. The base special comes with a fountain drink, or if you go to a location that serves alcohol, you can get yourself a beer instead. So jump on with Sexy Pizza, serving sustainability, community, and hand-tossed pizzas in Colorado.
Can we get Sexy Pizza now? I'm hungry.
Maybe we should after the show, TBH. I'm down. Get a little delivery pizza. Hang out with the Nuggets takeover that's coming back to the bar in a bit.
Are they coming back?
They are coming back.
Well, yeah. Sexy Pizza it is then.
I'm in. I'm
I
sold.
could use some Sexy Pizza tonight. I'm romantic about the game of hockey, and in moments like this, you just honestly have to understand that there's nothing that these guys want more than to figure it out on their own and get some wins here. I don't think they're far away. I truthfully think that they're going to figure out how to get things back to level. But I don't think it's anything they're doing fundamentally wrong. When we break down these games, when I watch this game, I'm not upset at anything they're doing necessarily playing-wise tonight that cost them a loss.
Yeah, again, I will, with this Avs lineup, I will take this game pretty much every night. And I will expect the Avs to win if they play like this most of the time, even with this lineup. You pick one of the 3 things I mentioned. Mikko plays better, you get that save from Eustace, or you get a little bit better lineup management. And this is a hard-out team. It's not a team that's good enough to push for the top of the league with the injuries they have, but it's a team that's going to make your life hard and win a lot of games. And then when they start getting guys back, they start getting into the, is this a great team conversation?
You You don't need to finish in first. You just got to be good enough to make the playoffs.
Correct.
And then by the playoffs, you're healthy and you're rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Just stay alive. Stay within reach. Stay in the fight. Survive the day and then move on. That's it.
Nailed it. I couldn't have said it better
that's
myself.
That's it. Like everybody panicking, everybody freaking out, everybody, survive, and you're surviving right now.
Yep, you feel better about your survival if you won tonight, but you didn't. You're still fine.
Tonight would have helped.
But
Find a win on Tuesday.
If they win the game against Seattle, and this has been true, I think, a lot of this season when they're coming off of losses, if they win the next one, the losses aren't that big of a deal. They're doing okay enough. They have to get better at some point, but again, that just comes down to waiting for their guys to get healthy.
Druin's ready to go. I mean, it's up to him. It's up to him. It's about how can he manage pain. So that's where Druin's at. Nichushkin very likely could come back as quickly as he's eligible. He's in Denver. He is skating. He is working out. He is not currently engaged with the team, but
one practice with the team could be ready by the 15th.
Ross Colton is not coming back anytime soon.
That dude is out for 6 weeks at minimum.
6 to 8 weeks at least, and I would put it on the farther side of that.
Yep.
Colton is nowhere near ready to come back.
Yeah, Colton and Landeskog are longer-term propositions for sure right now.
That is a broken foot.
But again, the Avs don't need all 6 back. They need 2 or 3.
When they had 2 or 3 back, if they would have gotten the goaltending that they were getting now, we would be having a very different conversation about this team.
Correct.
As I said earlier, compounding problems.
The Avs season is not complicated. It's just frustrating. That's all. Because everyone is jumping in. They wanted something to do. They want, how do we fix it? You can't. You can't fix it.
That is the quote of the season thus far. What you just said.
You just have to live through it.
It is not complicated. It is frustrating.
Yep.
That is 100% what is going on.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you if you can't figure out how this team can get to where it's going to go, then
there is no
luck.
answer to fix this problem.
Yep.
That is the problem.
Yep.
No trade, no nothing. There's no fix to this right now other than recovery of injuries.
Yep.
There is no fix.
That's it. It's
I don't care who you are. I don't, it's got nothing to do, and I'm going to make this real clear, and I'll fight you on it. This has nothing to do with Jared Bednar. This has nothing to do with
not in the
Seaton.
grand scheme, definitely not. I think there are minor decisions he could make better, but what is he supposed to do with a lineup that's half AHL players? No, coach can't go out there and play the games for him. He's just got to use the guys he has.
Nothing. This is not a Jared time. Yes, there you go, Lane. Time.
Yep.
Time is the answer.
That's it.
Time is the answer. Time heals all. Yes.
I will say this. I think this team, as constructed, is capable of winning hockey games, even if they haven't. It's a statistical anomaly how many bad breaks the Avs have already received this season.
Yeah. I said that earlier.
You did.
I'm sitting here like, what? Like, how do you? I'm afraid to watch games at this point.
And unfortunately, past results do not necessarily indicate something in the future. Yeah, you know what? We can all sit here and just cry it out if the Avs continue to get hurt all year, because if they continue to get hurt all year, it's not going to get better. But that is unlikely to happen. Just on the whole of the law of averages. The Avs are going to get healthier for at least portions, if not the entire rest of the season, and they're going to start winning a bunch of hockey games. I think on a personal level, I'm still very, very, very far away from even being all that concerned about this hockey team. As long as their stars don't get hurt. As long as their stars don't get hurt, they'll be fine.
I'm not worried about this hockey team at all.
There you go.
They're going to figure out the goaltending thing was the only thing in my mind that's a massive question mark that concerns me.
Yep.
All of the other problems are not if problems, they're win problems that are fixable. So, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not worried. They're going to do the right thing. They're going to figure out the goaltending situation. That's going to resolve itself. The other stuff, it's time. It's got nothing to do with anything. It's got nothing to do with cement. It's got nothing to do with coach. It's got nothing to do with anything. You cannot win hockey games expecting it to be just 3 guys contributing. You can't.
Let me ask chat something. And don't go look it up. Don't cheat. Think the Boston Bruins are a playoff team this year?
Do I?
Just ask in the universe. You can answer if you want to.
Yeah, I do.
Do you think the Edmonton Oilers are a playoff team this year? Do you think that the Carolina Hurricanes are a playoff team this year? Do you think that the New York Islanders are a playoff team this year? Outside of the Hurricanes, all those teams are under 500.
Yes.
It's still early.
I see what you're doing.
And some of you might say no. Some of you might not believe in some of those teams. Fair enough. But if we're deciding which teams are in the playoffs today, then what is the rest of the season for?
You're so wise. It's like a little miniature Buddha, isn't he? You see what he did right there? Sucked me right in. I was like a little kid listening to the teacher read the book, and the puppy got the bone at the end of the thing. It's like Clifford's Big Adventure, or Where's Waldo on the tough ones, and you're like, there it is. You did that. You Where's Waldo'd me.
And that's... Look, yes. Have the Avs made their lives harder for the rest of the season, whether it's their fault or not? Yeah. It's not like the Avs are going to wake up tomorrow and life becomes easy. But the idea that you play an 82-game season and you want to make decisions about a team 12 games into the season, what are we doing?
Listen, pressure's a privilege. Pressure's a privilege.
Yep.
Adversity is good. Reality is you're going to have to grind.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in the NHL, they're good at grinding. And if this team wants to be something, they're going to have to grind. And I'll
Correct.
throw all the damn cliches out there that you want, but the juice will be worth the squeeze if you just continue to grind.
And let me tell you, you should come watch them grind with us on November 15th.
Oh, yeah.
For the Colorado takeover. I guess
Hedgie.
Ball Arena takeover. Milan Hajduk. Come watch a game with Milan Hajduk.
Hedgie.
Maybe all the Avs goal scorers are broken, but Milan Hajduk ain't broken in the
Is
stands with
anybody
you,
else
all right?
in our industry bringing a Hall of Famer?
Not a Hall.
Raptor
He's not a Hall of Famer, but he's a retired
will be.
jersey.
He will
No,
be.
he won't. He's not.
It's Hall of Famer in my book.
I appreciate you.
Love Hedgie.
He's close. He's Hall of Very good.
I
But
love Hedgie.
he's not a Hall of Famer, as much as I love the guy. An all-time Av, to be sure, though. Go get your tickets today at thednvr.com/events. There's a link down in the description. It's a great time. The Nuggets are doing it right now. You get a party bus to and from the arena where you get to drink free beers on the bus. What's not to love? Even if the Avs are bad, you can get really drunk and then you won't remember the game. If the Avs are good, you can get really drunk and celebrate that they won. Win-win either way, right? Go with that. Come join us, please. Go check it out again. Link in the description. That's
Do
all
I
I
get
got.
to partake in that even though I'm supposed to be at the game?
If you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure that out. What time does the bus leave for the rink?
Pretty early. We should get there for like warm-ups pretty much, I think.
Is it frowned upon if I'm drunk in the press box?
I'm going to leave that one up to you,
only
buddy.
if they know.
Got him.
You guys did not get us to 100 likes either. Pretty depressing. Just when I was starting to like them.
We tried our best, but when the Avs lose, you guys don't, you're not very likable.
I mean, I understand. You know what I am? I'm really hungry and I'm watching commercials of food right
I
now.
actually need to eat too.
Yeah,
We're getting to that point.
We're getting close.
We did a good job, chat. To be honest.
Yeah, you did. I love you guys. You're all right. I'm just kidding. Thanks for helping. Appreciate you. Tough night tonight. Not necessarily fun.
It's so hard when you look at that game. You're like, I really don't know what they do better. Just win next time. Oh, we did have one super chat, right? I don't want to miss that before we get out of here. $5 from Melanie. Major bummer. Thanks for the content. Always appreciated. Appreciate you, Melanie. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not feeling that bad because we had 100K subscribers, and that's what we care about from you, chat. You guys are awesome. I know we don't always agree. I know sometimes we think your takes are stupid. Sometimes you think our takes are stupid. But we're all a community together, and we have these conversations as a community. That's what hockey's all about. The hockey itself is awesome, but it's about being together with each other. And I talked about it a little bit if you want to go watch the end of the show the other night, but I love you all so much, and it's silly that this gets to be my job every day, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you, so thank you.
Very fun, and you do a great job at it, and you guys are all wonderful. Just hang in there, okay? Like, trust me on this. I've done this for a long, long time. It's going to be okay. Believe and believe. Just stick with it. This is a good hockey team. This is a great platform. It's cool that you all have this. It's cool that we have this to express it to you. Obviously, we're super emotional about it because it's an emotional thing and you get attached. And just stick with us. It's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Everything's okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. So we'll be all right. We are back with you. When are we back? Are we back on?
We are back Monday. We're off tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Back on Monday. Hockey game on Tuesday. We will see you for it. Join us at 1:45 on Monday, and we'll kind of catch up, and we will look ahead to the Seattle Kraken coming into town.
Hopefully injury news. That's what we're
hopefully
hoping
we'll
for.
have some good news for you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a nice Sunday tomorrow. Stay warm. I think it's going to be a little chilly out there, and do something nice for somebody else. Make somebody's life better, and for gosh sakes, call your mom.
We all silly like the mayor.